Hello and welcome to the very first edition of Temple Timeout. Alongside Vince Coll, I'm Bri Hofsass. And you know, Vince, I don't know about you, but I am really excited to kick off this semester just talking about Temple athletics.
Yeah, and we're going to kick off this episode talking a little women's basketball because they're ranked for the first time in over 10 years. You got the men's team who have been struggling, and then, of course, I'm a football guy, so we're going to be diving into the 4 Owls that are headed to the NFL Combine.
But first, let's take a timeout. For the first time since the 2005-2006 season, the women's team are nationally ranked. They're coming in at number 25, and this also marks their 20th win season under head coach Tanya Cardoza.
Yeah, and this is a team that is actually in stride to go dancing, in the tournament. If you remember last year, they came up just short. They made that run in the NIT, but they weren't able to get to the big dance. But regardless, they're really clicking this year because they have 2 conference losses, and one is to UConn, who, of course, they have a 100-game win streak, and South Florida, who's kind of been giving them trouble. They're number 22nd ranked nationally. So, they've been really getting it done, though. You look at Fionda Fitzgerald, how she's up for the National Point Guard of the Year for women's college basketball. She's averaging over 17 points per game, over 7 assists per game. She's really getting it done, and I think she's really, the centerpiece for this women's team, and really why they're doing as good as they are.
Yeah, it really seems like they're just clicking this year, and I think what may have kept them out last year and the season prior to that is they were in their growing stages of the team, and now they're really all kind of coming together. And transitioning from the women's to the men's, you're kind of seeing that right now. They're going through their growing pains, and right now they're putting so much pressure on Quentin Rose and Alani Moore, who are playing great for freshmen, but they're only freshmen, and they don't have that experience, and that's one of the things that has definitely been hurting this team.
Yeah, and you look at something else that's really been hurting this Owls team that sit at 14-13 overall, 5-9 in conference, 5-9 in conference. These guys, something that's been huge. Ernest Aflakby, the big presence that they're kind of lacking. What have you seen? And let me pose a question. Do you think that Ernest Aflakby is a disappointment so far this season?
I don't think that he's a disappointment. I think that he's still developing, and I know that it's not like he is a sophomore, but last year, he didn't really get any minutes because he was coming off of an injury still that prone him senior year. And you had Jalen Bond that he was playing under, who was their sole captain. He put up great numbers. I believe he averaged like 8 rebounds a game for them.
Yeah.
And he's still learning and he's still developing, and it hurts him, I think, because he doesn't have anyone that he can have for help. Damian Moore, he's also a freshman, not getting much minutes.
Right.
Mark Williams is a senior that he's averaging less than 6 points a game, getting less than 3 rebounds a game, and that's not going to cut it.
I feel like it seems like when Mark Williams is on the floor, you kind of gotta, make your way around. He does have the senior presence, but you're definitely gonna need more production out of a captain, like as you said.
But what I think is really hurting the Owls is Obi Anencionia. He's just such a unique player. He is a stretch 4 who loves to shoot the ball from the perimeter. He can create difficult situations for other teams to guard him because he'll shoot over a guard, he'll go past a big, but sometimes he doesn't have that big presence. Right. He's only averaging 6 rebounds, and he's 6'9", 6'10". Yeah. I think that he needs to really focus more on his big guy game, because right now he hasn't really been shooting the 3 ball as well as he was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And I think that that's where they're going to need to step it up. But let's take it from the court to the turf and take a look at some Temple Owls.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you heard the news, but 4 Temple Owls are going to be going to they were actually invited to the combine, the recruiting combine, NFL, And that's a program record for the Owls. And to me, right away, I thought, wow, of all the years, they haven't sent more than 4. But really, it's a record. And you look at these guys. Hassan Reddick right now on CBS is listed as the second-ranked inside linebacker in the upcoming draft. You got Deion Dawkins, who early in the year, Mel Kiper said he was the top senior offensive tackle. He's likely going to be moving to guard in the NFL, but regardless, that's the first and second round right there, maybe being Temple guys. You also have cornerback Nate Hairston, and funny, Nate Hairston was actually a wide receiver last year. He's a first-year starter at cornerback. Now he's going to be going to the NFL as cornerback. I think that's awesome. Now, how can you forget Jihad Thomas? He's looking like a late 6, maybe 7-round guy, a lot like Matakevich last year, at the very end of that draft.
Now, my question for you, Vince, I know that Jihad this past season, he was really working on his versatility, but do you think that he has what it takes, given his size and his injuries, to play in the NFL?
Well, yeah, like you said, with his size and the injuries, I think that, being 5'10", 5'11", he's not as big as everyone else. I think it's really going to be hard for him to be an every down type of back. And I think where his niche could be is maybe as a return specialist. He returned punts and kick returns at Temple, under Matt Rule. And I think that can kind of give him an edge because you see how he runs. You look up Jihad Thomas highlights. He's electrifying. Breaking ankles. He's looking at the next level before he's even passing the next level. So I think, there's a chance for him to be successful. Maybe a Darren Sproles type. Maybe somewhere like that kind of specialty guy.
Yeah, well, we'll be excited to see those Owls and where they land in the NFL draft coming up.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do right now is we're going to take it to our Player of the Week. Every week in our Temple Timeout edition, we're going to have a Player of the Week. And this week, you might be a little surprised at who we chose.
Yeah, so this week, this actually is not even a Temple student. It's actually Shizz Alston Sr. That's actually Junior who just missed that shot. But Shizz Alston Sr., here he is right here. Give me that off the board. And he actually beat Shizz. And you were reffing this game. You actually were refereeing this game. How did it go?
Well, honestly, I was really surprised, because we let Levan shoot first because he's the elder.
Right.
But he did not miss one shot. He made every single one, all from the perimeter. And Shizz, he made the first 2 because he's in a groove right now. Shizz is doing really well. He's the leading scorer for the Temple Owls, but he had nothing on his dad. His dad had no mercy, and he was giving it to him.
And it's funny because his dad in the video, actually it aired on Temple Update yesterday. You could probably find it on the web, but his dad actually said that he admitted that Shizz Jr. was a better shooter than him.
Yeah, but
I think that's funny. It didn't show though.
It's funny because Shizz then said about his dad he was out of character and made a lot of lucky shots.
Yeah.
I don't know, it looked like a lot of skill to me. But that's all we have for your very first edition of Temple Timeout. As always, be sure to follow us at TU_SportsDesk for all things sports around the nest, and check out our Sports Desk tab on TempleUpdate.com. For Vince Coll, I'm Bri Hofsass.